Hey guys, what's up? You already know what time it is. It's time for a new video. Alright, so basically, I don't think this has been done before, but I went through the entire Naruto Online skill breakthrough translations list. Credits to Oppai Paizuru, of course. And I made my own sheet based off of his work and everybody else who he credits, so let me show them real quick. All of these people, go ahead and pause the video and check all of them out. They're great sources of information. And I basically made my own list. It is, of course, largely based off my own personal opinion. I've been playing the Chinese version for roughly 5 months, and all of this is based upon my own personal preferences and, of course, just using common sense. So this is a skill breakthrough tier list of basically the best ninjas and how strong they get with the breakthroughs. And of course, these ninjas, you don't need to have 4 stars to break through them, so do keep that in mind. So I think I'm only gonna handle like the notable ones because nobody really cares about the bottom tier ninjas. First of all, Susanoo Sasuke. Let's have a look at him. So he's over here. Alright, Susanoo Sasuke is basically a godly tank. It's super hard to kill him because of his immunity to ninjutsu damage with these proper breakthroughs. So this is a list. The more stars it has, the more powerful it has. The 5 stars are basically the god ninjas. Then these are my recommendations for how you should break through them. So for Sasuke Susanoo, I would say his mystery goes to +1. Instead of only hitting the entire team, you can hit up to 9 units. So multiple fields, say for example in Bond and in Great Ninja War, he now can hit multiple fields. And of course the standard +1, which gets paralysis on top of it. The first passive, you should go for the +2 break. You get immunity to ninjutsu, but also 30% resistance. Now this is huge, because there are skills that have mixed taijutsu and ninjutsu damage. Pretty much almost all skills in the game, like, I don't know, Sage, Naruto, Mystery for example. And this is gonna make that hit a lot less. Now for a second passive, you should go Y+2. And the Y+2 gives him, every time a ninja is defeated, his ninjutsu and attack will be increased by 10%. So this is basically scaling super hard. Yeah, he just stays alive. He keeps on scaling. You can't burst him down because of his super armor plus resistance buff. And then eventually he's just gonna start one-shotting teams with his mystery. And his third passive, you should just go for VY, which is, instead of getting this chase, which deals high float ignition, you get free round ignition to the receiver of a critical attack. And then for the saving fragments tab, basically my personal recommendation, should you save their fragments to break them through in the future? Because Naruto Online English version has already deviated from the Chinese version. In Chinese version, you either buy or craft the skill books, and then you also have an RNG second skill experimentation system. But for the English version, they decided that we should just buy them with fragments. NA means that there's no reason to save their frags. If you have the ninja, you can already break them through. Saving frags on yes means I personally am going to save them to break them through, and no obviously means don't save their fragments because we're not really worth it. So yeah, Sasuke Susanoo, top tier ninja. Then we've got Gaara. We already know how good he is, but we don't have the alternative breakthroughs yet. So for his mystery, in the English version he gets immobile on his mystery, but when the Y breakthroughs come, you get a barrier that gives 60% for your win attribute, and this barrier does not disappear. So it's up permanently as long as it doesn't get overridden or destroyed. Then for the standard, you should go Y plus 2. As Y plus 2 standard generates a shield for 2 units with the least amount of life based on 10% of a unit's base resistance, and there's a large chance of 20% resistance. So basically, he can shield 2 units for 20%, which is almost as which is actually just as big as his initial shield upon spawning without the breakthrough. So what's that, like 3 to 4k? So he's basically going to be shielding for that amount every time he attacks. Well, it replaces his attack. Then you've got the first passive, which is passive plus 1. He just gets 20% extra more defense, that's fine. The second passive, passive plus 2. This gives him 40% instead of 20% upon starting the battle. And this works for all ninjas, regardless of whether they're wind attribute or not. It's just all units, and it also works for the entire field. So Great Ninja War, let's say you've got 12 ninjas, 3 of them are Gaara. The 3 Gaaras can stack their shields on top of each other on all 12 units, which basically results in like shields over 10,000. It's fucking insane. Then you've got the third passive, which is just a passive plus, it says plus 2 here, but don't believe he has a plus 2, no. So let's make that plus 1. You just get the immobile in your chase. This is, it seems small, but this is actually huge. Like, crowd control in Naruto Online is very overpowered. If you can just constantly immobile and chaos the enemy, there's basically nothing they can do. Hashirama. Let's go over Hashirama real quick. Yeah, we don't have the alternative breakthrough yet, I believe, but you should go for the alternative breakthrough, which is the Y plus 2 break. Now basically what this does is it causes water and earth damage to up to 3 enemy units, cancels all of their shields and buffs, also applies a mobile, also knocks down a unit. So this is fucking insane, and it only costs 40 chakra, and it's a prompt. So this is basically gonna be your turn 1 opener. He's not gonna be some passive barrier guy anymore. No, he's gonna be on the front line and he's gonna be smacking people. Then for his standard, did this go low or what? Why is it being like this? Oh no, it didn't work, huh? And then his standard attack should be the standard plus 2. Basically, he causes immobile upon starting a combo, and then he has a high chance of starting one. You've got the first passive, passive plus 1. You get the ninjutsu is permanent instead of only 5 rounds. You've got the second passive, which you should go for the Y breakthrough, which is low float into high float and increases the mystery cooldown of your target by 1. So they have to wait a turn longer to use their mystery, which is a real game changer. You've got the third passive, which is restores 10% of life when recovering chakra each round. He also becomes immune to ninjutsu. Now this is kind of one that you're gonna have to decide for yourself, because you can be either immune to ninjutsu or immune to debuffs. Actually, I think debuffs is stronger, so I'm gonna change that to Y. And then you don't really need to save his fragments because he's also a ninja, where you can break him through without 4-starring it. See, another notable one, Yamato, for example. I've rated him as a 5-star ninja because he's really useful in the Ninetales event. His mystery +2, all it does is make it prompt and make it a water attribute, which is okay. There's nothing for the standard. His first passive is the chase twice per round, okay. But it's all about the second passive right here. As long as Yamato remains on the field, increase the damage dealt to summons or huge monsters by 50% for the whole team. So that super passive that he has, your entire team now benefits from it. So you can combine this guy with Fire Main, and then you get 100% extra damage to huge monsters. So this is fucking insane for Ninetales. Do keep in mind that his mystery basically does nothing if you don't decide to benefit from the earth or the water attribute barrier. Let's see, next up, let's talk about Fu Yamanaka. This is another huge sleeper ninja that people don't know is going to be insane. His mystery at +2 is causes ninjutsu taijutsu damage, chaos, and disperses all buffs and shields to selected opponent's unit and one additional random unit. Now the huge weakness of this is that it's non-prompt, so you have to wait until his turn goes to be able to use it, but it's usable round 1 and you basically chaos 2 people. That's it. This oh my god, this is actually insane. Like, you just queue him up and then he chaoses 2 people, and the enemy only has 2 ninjas that they can even use next turn. And if you chaos their like main damage dealer who wants to take action on turn 2, for example a position 1 Sage Naruto or a position 1 Shisui, then he's just gonna chaos them and they can't do anything because this also removes the buffs and shields. So immunities are also gone. His standard, you get a chance for chaos. His first passive is just recovering life. Second passive is the puppet gets tankier. And let's see, the second passive I said Y +2. So that is at the beginning of the battle you summon a puppet that has 50% of Fu's life value. So instead of summoning a puppet every round who dies really easily with only 15 to 25% life, you get a tankier puppet. Then you have the third passive, which is a passive +2, and a shield for 9 fire or lightning units, which is standard. See, next up you've got Dunzo. There's another big one. So his mystery is going to be Y +2. Prompt cause ninjutsu damage to the selected unit and chaos for 2 rounds. 0 chakra consumption and usable from round 1. So yeah, do I need to say more? Prompt, chaos, 0 chakra on turn 1. This is basically Itachi's mystery, but better. Except that you can't use it 2 turns in a row, but still, a prompt chaos for free. Don't really need to say anything more than that. His standard attacks 6 units instead of only 3, and you get an additional standard when you repulse, so this is also great for Ninja War. His first passive, you can either choose between the chaos every turn or let's see, wind on top of the barrier. Now the thing is, if you have the normal barrier plus the prompt, you basically chaos 1 ninja for 1 turn because of the barrier, and then after that you chaos another unit for 2 turns because of a mystery. So if for some reason you decide to run Dunzo together with Yamanaka, you can basically chaos the opponent's entire team. It's just super tilting. Second passive is passive +2. Repulse knockdown in a mobile, it gets a bit more damage. And his third passive, you should go with for the Y +2. If you get a 10 hit combo, you do wind attribute to 3 of the opponent's units and 4 combo, so 4 times 3 is 12 combo. So the 10 gets you to 22 combo. That's another insane ninja. Let's see. Alright, one last one. Let's take the Raikage. Let's see, where are you? There you go. So, alright, his mystery +2. This guy is basically a god in China. He becomes immune to all debuffs during the round when you use his mystery. As long as your chakra is 70 or higher, it doesn't go on cooldown and it costs nothing. So, you have to pair him with someone like the Earth main with the chakra talent. He's gonna give your entire team 60 chakra if you have 3 units on a vertical, let's get this, a column basically. And then he gets to attack 4 times with 15% crit every single turn. Then you get the standard +1, when you get a guaranteed 2 combo. You have a chance of the high flow, you know, but as long as you don't tag them, this is not guaranteed, but now you get a guaranteed 2 combo. You get the passive +1. Cancels super armor for 1 round. Now this is just absolutely insane. Because now that stupid Gara that you want out of the way, you can just cancel the super armor and just kick his fucking ass. Like that's insane. The second passive +2. He currently heals 40%. If you break him through, he heals double. Double? Like, these numbers are just insane. His third passive is going to be passive +2. You get the high flow, knockdown, immobile, 10% less damage, so a longer chase, basically. Yeah, that's basically it. Do you really need to say anything more? He's just, alright, in short, every single turn he's gonna attack 4 times with 15% crit. He's immune to debuffs because of the mystery. He's gonna heal himself by 80% of his damage, and he can cancel super armor. You're basically dead. Like, by the second turn, you're pretty much dead. And there's nothing you can do to stop him, unless you have somebody like a masked man. But even then, you can just like cleanse the debuff off of him, and then he can use his mystery after. Alright, those are pretty much the ninjas that I've rated 5 stars. I'm gonna go ahead and put this document in the description. Feel free to check it out. If you have any notes, anything you want to say, go ahead and leave it in the comments, and maybe I'll take a look at it. This did take me quite a bit to work out, so I'd appreciate some feedback. And as always, good luck and have fun out there.